Hey everyone, today I'm having a discussion with Neil Thompson, who is the Associate Professor of Entrepreneurship here at the FU, and Tomina, who is studying the Masters of Entrepreneurship. Welcome guys.
Hello.
How
Hi.
are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Hi.
All right, so what are we here to discuss? I think Neil, you are the expert on the subject, so how about you introduce our topic today?
We're here to discuss a project that Tomina and I are coordinating for the VU called the Accelerate Entrepreneurship Education project. And the idea here is that we are trying to break down barriers of participation for entrepreneurship for students and PhD students at the VU.
All right, and how are you currently doing that? What are some of the projects that we shouldn't be aware of?
Yeah, so we have a project timeline that includes an online module, which we can go into more detail in a second. The online module leads to a opportunity to do an in-person workshop at partner universities. So I should say this is a project that's including Glasgow University, Corvinus University Budapest, and a partner organization called STACK, which is an accelerator for entrepreneurship in Scotland.
Okay.
So you can go to this online, or you can go to this online module. Then you can also go to an in-person workshop, and also we have option for getting a mentorship matching with somebody that's in this space in technology entrepreneurship that can really help you accelerate your venture.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the things that usually people learn on a workshop like that, like an in-person workshop? Like, let's say I would apply, and I get in, and I get the online module. I go through it. It's great. I want to go to the offline in-person workshop. How does that look like?
I can answer that if you don't mind. Yeah. Well, once you go through the online module, there will be some opportunities for you to actually work on a certain idea that you might have that is related to the technical part that you probably know more. And the online module is really a gateway for you to understand and fast track a little bit the idea in terms of understanding what your customers would be, how you can segment those customers, what is the type of data or behavior you're looking into, and then kind of put the business acumen on the technical idea that you have, work on the potential revenue models, and then you get the opportunity to submit a small pitch deck or a summarization of your idea. And then the advanced workshops and the network and the mentoring opportunity is something that can be more tailored to you.
Okay. So in general, you get a really solid understanding of how to build your business. So this can be pretty valuable for people who may not know exactly how, but they already have the what. They have the
or they may have
why.
An idea, or they may be further down the line that they're already exploring a product market. And that's a real point of this project, is to understand that a lot of PhDs, a lot of students on campus, they're in a faculty like science or a chemistry group or a physics group. They don't necessarily think about entrepreneurship as something they can do during their studies that can lead to something afterwards. Although it's perfect timing now, there's a lot of support. So this is trying to make it really easy so that you don't need to take a whole new master's, you don't need a new whole program. You can follow this online module at your own pace. It's freely available for all students. There's no payment needed. It's developed by professionals. It's a really nice online platform. So you walk through this 4-week course at your own pace. So you can really see for yourself, is this something for me? How far along in my ideas am I? Or you also learn the language of entrepreneurship. What is a business model? What are digital business models?
Yeah.
What can I do next, etc.
Okay.
So it's really easy in a way.
Yeah. It's kind of like a simple way to understand these concepts that you might not hear about from your studies. Yeah. Do you have any success stories from VU students specifically?
Yeah. So in the first round of the advanced workshop with the students, we invited the Fitsurance group from StartHub, and Fitsurance is a group that's doing. If I can put it in correct terms, they're using data and data analytics about people's health to inform them about healthy choices. So you can go in there and do a quick scan with them, and then using their big database, they come up with like suggested things you can do for
like nutrition,
for your nutrition and things. But of course, that's what they do. But they also have a business model behind this, right? Yeah. So they're now exploring how they can have a business model and what sort of business model would be best for their
Okay, that's really cool.
Part of the platform, yeah.
And what exactly, like you said that you get also tailored mentoring specific to your case. Do you have experience with that? That's why you were saying this, or you just know how?
Personally, no. Unfortunately, I joined the project a little bit later on. I'm helping Neil with the communication part and kind of disseminating this opportunity. I'm currently doing the online module, and who knows, I'm actually considering participating as well, as I have an idea for myself that implies leveraging a platform for kind of like facilitating collaboration. I personally work in the more of a social entrepreneurship sector, but it's very blurred lines. So for me, it's to get these insights on business and technology in a, let's say, more of a capsule way rather than studying digital strategy or taking a similar master's. I think it's spot on for where I am right now.
Awesome. Yeah. So you're helping Neil with the communication and the social media and the awareness of it, the communication.
Yes.
How does that look like day to day?
Well, we are quite setting up. This is a new initiative that we have. We are running it the second time around, but we're changing it a little bit. So we're pretty much trying to grow the LinkedIn community. Our partners at Glasgow prefer to use Twitter, so we're using that as well. And it's just fun. I personally don't have a communications background. It's the first time I do anything that has to do with communications and social media, so it is a learning curve for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, I think communication and learning how to like present your brand in a social media, it's also kind of super beneficial for entrepreneurship, because if you have a brand, you have a product, you need to be able to leverage eyes towards it, like to guide eyes towards it, so people can actually take part. That's what we are trying to do also with your project here.
Yeah.
To talk about it, and then people can enroll and.
Exactly. Yeah. We're really here to also like try to get people interested in this online platform and this project.
Yeah.
Because we know when it's new, people don't know about it and things. So.
Yeah. Going back to my question of tailored mentorship. So do you have any experience with how that can look like and help students, and what does that, like, is it every week you have a call with someone, or how does that look like?
Yeah, well, the mentors are really nice because we're still putting this part together. So we haven't actually run a mentor part of this project, but as somebody that's been a mentor and somebody that's been involved in mentoring and mentees with the past, what you do is basically work very clearly on what their objectives are. And sometimes you play devil's advocate. So sometimes in entrepreneurship, as an entrepreneur, you kind of have the rosy picture in mind, like, oh, this is what's going to happen. It's going to be so great. And you kind of miss sometimes some of the things you're overlooking. So a mentor can help you point out parts where, you should really think more closely, or perhaps you're being a bit too optimistic. But also the mentors have a lot of on-the-ground experience with the exact thing that you're going through. So they can coach you through the choices that you need to make, when you need to make them, the implications down the road. You can come to them if you're considering, like, let's say, making an equity split with a new co-founder. How can you handle that appropriately so you don't have later legal troubles and things like that?
Right.
So it's really nice. They really do have coach you through the process, because it can be quite new to a lot of people, and you need to kind of
and you also
talk to.
Sure, I totally agree. And you also said that some of the mentors and the founders of this project are, they have been successful entrepreneurs. Yeah. They sold their companies to Google or whatever. Can you share a little bit about them?
Do you want to talk about Stack, or should I?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay. So one of the partners on this project is Stack. It's an accelerator in Scotland, and it's run by people that have all done entrepreneurship in the past. So I think their CEO has built multiple companies and sold them to Googles and those kinds of things. But their whole staff are either still entrepreneurs and they also work at the accelerator, or they're full-time accelerator employees that have a lot of entrepreneurship experience. So they're the real practitioner experts, and they really want to dig into, coaching you through commercializing technologies. And they have this experience, and they want to be able to help people do that.
And they're the ones who are hosting the offline workshops, for example.
They are, and they also do the mentorship. Actually, the mentorship is also a combination of including people in your home region. So I also recruited mentors here in Amsterdam that are involved in different types of technologies. So this is really like med tech, well, it can be all different types of technologies, but really med tech, Internet of Things, any kind of data analytics companies, artificial intelligence companies. These are kind of the specific people
that you are looking for.
That we've recruited as mentors, and also what we're looking for is at the VU. So we know there's a lot of people here in data science. We know a lot of people here in the medical faculty and the science faculties that are top class in the world. And we want to get a hold of these people and say, hey, have you ever considered entrepreneurship? This is the type of things that are out there.
Right.
And then we can connect you to people that have built successful companies in these areas.
Exactly. And maybe some of them are actually, they have considered and they are aware that, I have an idea and I want to make it happen, but they don't know how to do it. And then you guys are a perfect match.
Yeah, that's why we have the online module, so they can learn a little bit of the basics, the nuts and bolts. They have the light language that they can use. And then if they are serious about it, we have the in-person workshop and the mentorship available if they want to go that far.
Sure.
And it's all free, so I should say.
Okay.
Yeah, which is really amazing because this can be very expensive. The accelerator, Stack the Accelerator, does not, this is quite an expensive service that they would normally provide.
Yeah.
But this project is all funded.
And what's interesting about them is that actually Stack comes from Smart Things Accelerator Center, so they're very much focused on how to better commercialize technology. They are quite interesting in their market in Glasgow as well. Like their vision as a company is to really contribute to strengthening the entrepreneurial ecosystem. So they have a very nice paradigm with which they do that. They work with universities, as you said, and that's why we're also here. And they really want to also put more effort into this idea of like technology for good, and how to leverage impact as well when commercializing new technologies. And it is kind of a good moment to talk about good tech and tech for good and all these new words that kind of came in to describe maybe new usages of technology. And that's why I think Stack is a great partner, and the fact that they are overseeing this mentoring program and you also have access to their team, it's quite nice. They've just been, this is not necessarily for students, but they've just been in Amsterdam to deliver a workshop on building an entrepreneurial university where non-academic staff joined, so anyone who is not a teacher that teaches entrepreneurship like Neil here, precisely to better strengthen what it means for a university to be entrepreneurial beyond just studying entrepreneurship or studying business. Precisely because not everybody wants to do that. Everybody maybe has other passions. I personally didn't have maybe enough passions. That's why I studied business. But I think other people don't see it as a path in itself. But it's always good to have it as a complement, with other studies rather than a study.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree. And you don't know how much you can take an idea until you actually tell it to an expert who can tell you. So if I'm an AI student or a medical student or computer science whatever I'm doing, and I'm technology interested in entrepreneurship, how do I reach out to you? Where do I find you guys, and how do I apply? Where's the online module? These type of things.
Well, we have a website, accelerate-entrepreneurs.com. And you also find us on LinkedIn at EEE Accelerate EE, Accelerate Entrepreneurship in Education.
Yeah.
It's
okay, I think I will put a link to
yes,
to
the website's easy to remember. AccelerateEntrepreneurs.com.
Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah, that one's easy.
I will also tag your LinkedIn. Make sure to tag your LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you think we should talk about before we end the podcast?
Just think of this opportunity as an initial journey that you can take. It's a 4-week online module on building a data-driven startup. It can be a great opportunity to kind of put your thoughts on paper, and who knows, maybe if you reach to a certain level with those ideas on paper, you really have some opportunities to get started. And just if you're looking for a sign, this is it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and I would say entrepreneurship really just about experimenting out there to see what will work. And in a lot of cases with technology, nobody really knows if your idea will or will not work. So until people try and they put it down on paper and start talking to people, they might be surprised actually about how far their knowledge can go in society and in the business world.
Yeah, how valuable it can be.
And how valuable it can be that is more unexpected than anything. So I think a lot of people approach entrepreneurship from a little bit of a fear, or maybe it's too risky or something. But you can also approach it from the other way around and say, actually, there's a lot of value here that I don't recognize. Through this process, you can recognize that you actually have a lot of value to bring, and that can be very powerful.
Sounds awesome. If any of you guys are interested, you can sign up. I will tag them. You can see their website, and you can reach out to them also on LinkedIn. All right, thank you for joining us. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.